Jingle bells, Batman smells, our comics suck. Welcome to this episode of Worst Collection Ever, the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence that just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean.
And obviously this is our holiday episode, another one.
Yeah, we're headed into Christmas proper.
Yes.
A few days after you hear this, so that'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Jen's improv songs.
Yep, singing songs for you.
I wasn't ready for that.
No one was ready for that. Everybody just turned off this podcast. If you look at those analytics that they just put out on Apple, it's going to show like
I can't even tell.
All listeners shut down.
Something I got to figure out because
right
for some
after
reason,
I started singing.
For some reason, my analytics for this show in particular aren't under my thing, and I think it's under the sideshow thing. So now I'm going to have to talk to Apple, and that stresses me out.
Sorry, babe.
I think they just started it, so there's not a lot of data yet. If you have an Apple ID, you should be able to log into Apple Podcast Connect if you have like Safari or whatever, and you should be able to like see how not only like your downloads and how often people listen and stuff like that, but like how long people listen and like how long they stop. I guess there's a lot. There's a lot of detailed information in there that's coming up, and it's actually very interesting to a lot of people that are, in the podcast industry because of the advertising ramifications and this, that, and everything. I mean, I feel like right now the data's pretty inconclusive because it's going to be like that for a while.
Oh, sure, until they get enough of it.
Until people get enough of it and see how it goes. And I mean, now it's kind of like, well, do we trust Apple, for that information? I mean, I guess you do.
They are our corporate overlords.
I don't know. I have my opinions about Apple Podcasts. I mean, because you're supposed to push it and people are supposed to embrace it. As they should, but not everybody wants to do that. And also, too, that new Apple, I mean, as you've talked about on the show.
Yeah, that app sucks. There's some good things about it, but there's some bad things about it, too. And
really horrible design issues out there.
There's some design issues. I feel like every time they update it, it gets worse. And I'm like, but I used to be able to just like literally just play them all through. Now, apparently, I have to create a playlist if I want to do that. I don't want to create a playlist. I just want to download my podcasts and just let it go. That's kind of a pain in the ass, especially if you're driving a long distance or something. You have to
that's what I've noticed, because okay, here's the thing.
It just stops.
It just stops. Usually it's like, okay, I play one podcast and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to listen to the next one, but it doesn't play.
It doesn't play, no.
And I'm like, well, I need to be able to.
You have to create a playlist for it to do that.
Oh, so that's how it goes?
That's how it goes. Yeah, that's what they were saying. I was reading something about it where the only way to fix that is to create a playlist, but that really sucks if it's like, you'd have to do that. Like, if your commute's long and you listen to like 1.5 podcasts a day on your commute, you'd have to set it up every single day.
How many fucking playlists? I mean, okay. These are the things, particularly for podcasting. Who the fuck does playlists?
Nobody.
I mean, you do playlists for songs because songs are like,
but because it makes sense, because you can be like, this is my gym playlist. I listen to it when I go to the gym.
Yeah.
This is my meditation playlist, whatever. I listen to it when this. Podcasts are a one and done thing.
Yeah.
Why would you set up a playlist to play a whole bunch of podcasts if you're going to have to do it literally once a week? Once a day.
It's either like this. It's either like you're listening, because I understand that there's like the idea is that people are listening to a bunch of different podcasts.
Yes.
So I'm listening to, say you're listening to Worst Collection Ever, and you're listening to We Hate Movies, you're listening to Stone Cold Steve Austin, you'll listen to the thing, and you want to listen to all those shows. Because say they all come out on a day, or, in a way that you can line them up and just listen to them. And so ideally you would make a playlist and just get in your car and just play each one of those shows one after another for that day.
But then you'd have to do it every day.
Well, for a lot of people,
or every week.
Right. And I think for a lot of people, you just listen to, you might just want to catch up on a show.
Yeah.
I think a lot of ways people do is that they might want to catch, they're out doing their thing, and they want to listen to a bunch of Worst Collection Ever, say if they haven't caught up on it. I feel like that's the way a lot of people approach it. Is like they haven't caught up on Worst Collection Ever in a few weeks, so they have 3 episodes they have to catch up on. Well, you ideally wouldn't want to just listen to one right after another if you're driving for 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever, and you want to just catch up on that. And that's crazy that they've taken away that ability.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, because like for me personally, so Tuesday is like it's a heavy podcast day. I think that's just for everybody. So like Tuesdays, We Hate Movies comes out. Okay, so I always listen to We Hate Movies when it comes out on Tuesday. Well, then the other thing that comes out for me is the Print Run podcast. That drops on Tuesdays usually. So I want that. Also, I listen to Dan Savage. That comes out on Tuesdays. So, and if I wanted to listen to the Dear Prudence podcast, that comes out on a Tuesday. So ideally, I would download all of those and just hit play. And then when We Hate Movies is over, it'll just play whatever's next. That's what it used to do.
In a chronological order.
In alphabetical order or whatever. That's what it used to do. It doesn't do that anymore. So now I have to be like, okay, so if I'm in the middle of doing something and We Hate Movies is over, I have to now stop and go and find the next podcast and hit play instead of it just having it go like it used to.
Yeah.
And I would literally have to create a playlist every Tuesday before I leave for work to have it do that.
Well, I think, but this might be also Apple's way of doing it where, because I've had this problem with the old app, where I'm listening to a show and I have it, and it's a part of like my most recent shows. So if I have, say, We Hate Movies, Clars, Raven Effect, or whatever, but maybe I haven't downloaded it because for space issues, I might only just download a few, but I might not download everything. But sometimes it'll jump to the next podcast and start playing it without me downloading it. I don't like that.
Yeah, that was because you were on the weird one. You had to be on, I forget which one it is. You can't be on like most recent or unplayed or something, because then it'll just do it and it'll stream it. You just have to be on the ones that you actually have on your phone.
I was doing it wrong.
Yeah, you had to be on like the right screen because it was a weird.
But then I think that, but now that they've kind of changed it, it sounds like it doesn't really
do much.
Doesn't really solve much of anything. So
no, I mean I'm sure there's a way you can do it, but as far as I have found out, it literally just stops now, which is kind of annoying because I would play my podcast and I would just go through. You know, I'd hit my We Hate Movies and I'd walk back to work. You know, I'd walk to Starbucks in the morning. I'd come back, listen to it in the morning, and then maybe finish it up on the way to the gym because, you know, obviously I can't listen to it all day. And then I'd start print run, listen to it at the gym, put it in the car, and then I'd come home. But if print run stops when I'm driving, that's it. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like I'm only usually listening to shows when I'm driving.
Yeah.
I don't, either that or from, because I'm at home, I'm not using my iPhone, I'm using my laptop.
Right.
And I'm listening to podcasts off of there.
Right.
I feel like with the Apple podcast stuff, like they bust out this technology and a lot of people don't like it. What it is that Apple wants to push certain things. They want to push certain agendas. They want to push certain just ways that they want you to listen to podcasts and they want you to treat podcasts.
Yeah.
And it's the same way, that's the way they promote podcasts, because they have like their ideas of like, okay, well, this is what we're going to push based on, these tenets that are good to Apple and whatever. So they're going to do that. And that's why, maybe those people or maybe the people that run these, run the editorials and all that stuff feel that it just makes sense to fuck with that shit and make it the way that they see it. Not everybody agrees with that. But a lot of people, they have iPhones. People that want to get into podcasts. Hey, how do I listen to a podcast? Oh, there's a podcast app. Great. Oh, I guess I don't know how to use this. Well, I guess I'm going to have to learn, or I'm just not going to listen to a podcast. So, and that's a dangerous way to, I think that's a really, not dangerous, but just, it's a really careless way of managing.
Well, it's basically telling people
consumption.
Who use your product that the way you use it is wrong.
Yeah.
That the way they want you to use it is correct or is preferable to the way that you are actually using it. And I think that's short-sighted.
Right.
On their behalf. Or on their part, because they're not paying attention to how people actually use their product. They're paying attention to some idealized world where they get to control that. Yeah, well, that's not how it works.
They're not paying attention to the way that people actually want to consume podcasts, but more or less like how they would see it. Like, for instance, like we always push rate and review on the podcasts,
of course,
on Apple Podcasts. As you should, because that's what a lot of people use.
Well, it gets you more visibility.
It's more visibility. I mean, however, though, let's just be honest, actually, a lot of places say this, and I think, well, maybe we should start saying this more often, but, we're just kind of replacing it. It's like wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
Because there was like that one promo, I think it was Guy Branum and Pop Rocket. Did you hear that? Where he's like, hey, download our show wherever you get your podcast. I'm not going to judge.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, because not everybody, people listen to Apple, and you should rate it there, or, and that's where it's easier to see your ratings, I think. But a lot of people use Stitcher. A lot of people use Overcast.
There's all sorts of apps out there.
There's a lot of apps, a lot of different ways that people use it, especially for Android users and stuff. I know this isn't exactly comic book related. However, I kind of just had to talk about it, for a second here because we just started talking about it. So, and this is all I want to talk about.
Sean loves the podcast.
That's the thing. We had our work party the other day and I just felt
we were on a boat.
We were on a boat. Yeah, we had a boat adventure.
I saw a seal. That was exciting.
Oh, yeah.
That was the highlight of my evening. I saw a seal.
Yeah.
We were on a boat. The sea defeated my hair.
It sure did.
That was fucking
You
impressive.
lost that battle.
I sure did. And I had forgotten about it because when I was in Boston, I lived with the triangle of hair because humidity is my enemy. And then I went on the boat and I was like, oh, that's right. I remember what it's like to look like this all the time. But it was good. It was fun. I wore a sparkly skirt.
You did.
And Sean talked about podcasting.
Well, it's a podcast company.
It was a podcast company.
What else are we going to talk about with people
also,
there?
Also, boat, open bar.
Yeah.
It was fun. There was an open bar. That was great.
The open bar, yeah. I don't drink very often.
No, you drink old man drinks when you drink, though.
I drink, I've kind of gotten into the groove of drinking old fashions.
Yeah.
I think they're great. It's like a citrusy whiskey kind of deal. I feel like I'm a man. Like a man.
Yeah, grizzled old man.
I'm a man.
Yep. Telling you. My great uncle, every day at like 4:30.
Yes.
He would drink a Manhattan. And it is very difficult to find, if you're in just a regular old chain restaurant with an old man, to get a bartender working an afternoon shift to even know what a Manhattan is.
Yeah, you're not going to get a Manhattan at a Fridays. Or you probably could.
Well, I don't know. We went to somewhere, which I don't even know if it still exists, because to my recollection, it burned down, but I think they rebuilt it. It's called the Trail Dust Steakhouse in Colorado. And I made the mistake of telling my uncle, who has since passed on, that if you go there and you wear a tie...
Oh, they cut it off.
They cut it off. They don't do it because it's supposed to be a steakhouse and, we don't do ties around these parts, blah, 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 blah. There's also a slide. Slide's a lot of fun. I think it's because it burned down. I don't think I took you there. No. I don't think it exists anymore. Anyway, so this is the old steakhouse. And there were so many ties on the wall. Guess what? It fucking burned down. Shock. Because then they cut it off and they pinned it to the wall. So when he came to visit us in Colorado from Boston, he was insistent that we take him to this place where he could get a steak and he wanted to wear a tie because he wanted them to cut it off. So he brought a tie that he didn't care about, Uncle Lou. He brought a tie he didn't care about and he was so excited and he wore it and we went to the Trail Dust Steakhouse and they rang the cowbell and they came and they cut it off and he was happy as a clam, but then he wanted a Manhattan and the bartenders had no fucking clue what he was talking about. So he tried to tell them how to make it and he got something close, but it wasn't. So then he had to go back because we always had to go to the liquor store and buy the specific stuff and he would make it himself. But he had to have his Manhattan because he was an old man.
Yeah.
So that's a random story for all y'all.
Oh, it's a good drinking story.
Good drinking story. Good story about Uncle Lou getting his tie cut off. He really was happy about that. My mother, however, pissed that I mentioned going to this restaurant. And I was just making conversation. But you know how my mom is. She gets mad at everything. So shock that my mom was angry.
Jen Stansfield, not wrong.
No, right? I know. I'm right. So yeah. But he was happy.
Sometimes you gotta be up for those experiences, Yeah. You just want to check it out.
Yeah.
So, real quick, too, I also want to just give an update about some transactions I did the other day for comic books.
Oh, yeah.
So, we did a good purge of all of our books.
Oh, man, we got rid of, almost 3 short boxes? 2.5, maybe?
I'd say at least around 2.5, maybe 3 short boxes. I mean, we didn't take the actual boxes, but we put them in some bags. Took them. Definitely at least 2.
Yeah.
And just a lot of just random stuff we've done on the show that we don't care about. Just random stuff that we've been hanging out. Like, for instance, this book we're doing this week, this is going out.
Oh, it has to go out. This is garbage.
This has only been around because for this particular reason, but it is not staying.
No.
But we got rid of...
We're not getting garbage for this either. We're not getting anything for this.
Oh, I am not getting anything.
We're better throwing this in the street.
I might.
And letting someone run it over with their car.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Leave it to the parking lot.
Just
leave it at a park.
Leave it at a Starbucks.
Ooh. Leave it at a Starbucks. Or maybe we could leave it at I gotta find somewhere there's a bunch of magazines. Just leave this there.
Yeah.
Like a doctor's office.
Yeah. Find a pediatrician's office. Let's leave it there.
I'll just leave it at any doctor's office. I'll just stick it underneath Your Health Today or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll just stick it underneath and I'll stick it in there and somebody will open it up and be like, Santa the Barbarian. This is not good.
And
I might get somebody in trouble though.
You know what? They'll be right when they say this is not good. they'll be 100% correct.
What if I trigger something terrible? You know what? I'm not going to do that.
That's what I'm saying. You, like, leave it on a bus or something.
Yeah,
a train.
This is a bus book.
Yeah.
But that being said, we will. You know, we unloaded a bunch of comics. I went to Pulp Fiction in Culver City, great store. And look, they don't pay us to say any stuff. We just like these stores.
Yeah, no.
I don't care. I mean, look, you know, I mean, we're fans of stores. We go, we'll talk about you, you know, whatever, because that's what we do. We're comic book people, you know, we go and check out stores and we have opinions. You know, if you listen to us and you have a dissenting opinions, you want to share them with us, great. You know, if you want to concur with us, great. We'd love to hear from you. Nonetheless, I went to Culver City and, Pulp Fiction and sold all the comics, or just, you know, had them go through it. And I'm sitting there, so I'm just assuming they're just going to go through these books and be like, can I make you? They'll just like, okay, we'll go through this and make you an offer. And I'm like, okay, well, just, you know, whatever, offer me whatever. I assume you're going to offer me $10.
Yeah.
You know, because what the fuck?
We know what we have.
I already know what's in. I know what's in there. There's nothing good in here. They're sitting there and they're going through the books, and the girl,
like, dutifully going through them,
looking them up, and
like she was like doing her job,
which I appreciate.
Yes, we all do.
I appreciate a comic book store that does their thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like, hey, why don't you give me a sandwich, you know, or I'll give you a sandwich, you know, or I'll give you this.
Would I take a sandwich?
No, I won't take a sandwich from a comic book store.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what if it's like, maybe they have really good sandwiches there?
Well, maybe if I got.
What if it's like a really, like a deli / comic book store and they make like the best sandwiches? They're like, we'll give you this pastrami.
When are we making that? When are we doing that store?
Yeah. Pastrami on rye for.
I can go for a good Reuben.
Yeah.
You want to give me a good Reuben?
Yeah.
Okay.
Comic books, traded them in, got more than we expected. And
I got $40
for our shit.
Which I...
Surprising.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Well, you know what it was? Is that there was a handful of books in there that... Because she gave me like $1 a book, which... Fuck yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Definitely don't deserve $1 a book, but thank you. Maybe you just like the quality. I don't know.
I mean, that's true. It's not like... We try not to buy the really... I mean, I've got a couple that are really beat up, but we try not to buy them.
Oh, no, we try to buy stuff that at least looks halfway decent. There was a few that we had. There was some... I'm trying to think... Oh, so I'm now blanking on something.
There were coming to some of the Batman RIPs that were a little bit.
Yeah, there was some Batman. I think it was the one Batman Spawn we had.
Oh, okay.
Which I think was a duplicate.
Yes, it was.
So that got some cash.
Yeah.
But the ones that stood out that actually I took back because apparently we might be worth something is the first. I think it's like the first like
two or three
issues of the series called Deadly Class, which is I think it's an Image book.
Yeah, I bought those down in Laguna Hills.
Oh yeah, at Nuclear.
I bought those down there.
Yeah,
because it was like because we had to like get a certain number. I can't remember. I was trying to get a number.
Yeah, they had a sweet sale going.
Yeah, and so I bought those because they looked cool, and actually they were. I did enjoy them.
I never read them. But.
I did, but I only bought the first, I think, 2 because that's all that was there. But they actually were pretty good, and I guess it's going to be made into a series, a TV series, or a movie, or something.
It's supposed to be made into a TV series, and the girl told me, says, "Look, you know, I can give you a couple bucks for these, but you might want to hold on to this because once you start seeing like advertisements for the show and all that stuff, that's when you might want to sell these online and try to get some more cash."
Yeah, which is cool. And
which was very nice of her.
Yeah, if you don't know what the series is about, so it's about a bunch of kids who are basically going to a school for assassins. So it's like Hogwarts, but for assassins.
Ooh.
And it's for kids all over the world and all this sort of stuff. And so that's what it's about.
So yeah, I'm going to hold on to those. And apparently we were sitting on those. We were sitting on some good stuff. And here's the thing. We do have some relatively decent books.
We do.
That I think need to be graded. Officially graded.
Well, you've got some older ones from your dad.
From my dad, like I have the first appearance of the Inhumans. I have the Amazing Spider-Man 28, which is like the first Molten Man.
Sure.
You know, I've got some really some classic books from like the Silver Age, but they're just like in regular things. They're not.
Well, you need to send them to the what is it? CGC. CG. Yeah, that's it. CGC.
What I might do is because
I was like CBGBs. No.
Yeah, that's no. There's just actually this group, because I was talking to this dude, and I need this. It's on Google Plus.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, really? But I'll have to find these guys.
Well, it's like a comic book group.
Comic book speculation and investigating. So I might be able to talk to these guys about.
But I think you should take the time, and I know it costs money, but I think maybe you should spend.
Well, no, because just for those in particular, and
just,
maybe
we're not doing all of them. Just for the ones.
Oh, definitely not doing all of them.
No, because they're gonna be like,
excuse me, can you?
Why did you bother trying to grade?
Can you grade this Terror Inc. for me? Yeah, it's a 1 point fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much. They just send it back with like on fire. You open it up and the
excuse me, is this Sean Merrick's house here? I got a flaming package for you.
I've got some fire for you.
I got some fire for you. Would you like to? Do you want me to leave it outside? Yeah, just leave it outside.
Yeah, just leave it out there, will you?
Yeah, just leave it. I'll get it later.
Yeah. So you ended up getting an Avengers trade.
I got a Avengers West Coast. Along Came a Spider, which is it's like Avengers West Coast's like a bunch of issues that I didn't. Well, I've been holding off on buying individual issues because I knew it was a trade and I wanted the trade.
Yeah,
and the trade is like $30 or something.
Well, they also do like a pretty good deal where you get like percentage off.
Right, that's the great thing about the store is because they have a location in Culver and a location in Long Beach, and they do like 45% off all the time,
or 40% off.
40% off. It's something that's a really good jump.
Yeah, and it's depending on the brand. So it's like Marvel and DC are 40. Image or not Image, like smaller brands might be smaller in price.
Image is the lowest one, but then like I think Vertigo is a little bit less.
It might be like a 20.
Yeah.
There's signs all over the store. You can't miss it.
Yeah, it's a really, but yeah, it's a it was cool. So I picked that up. I got a discount on that, and then I bought the Rand Thanagar War, not the Holy War because we have all those, but the Rand Thanagar War, which I kind of got into by reading the Holy War stuff.
Yeah, the Holy War stuff I did like.
Yeah, and we picked all those up individually, but they had this one, and they have a trading post where they're already discounted books, but I can't pass up a thing that's like $5,
That I do love that about them because they take used stuff back. So
and they also take used books.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's they take not just single issues, they take trades and stuff. So because there's, Marvel, they've got a Marvel here, they've got DC to here. Obviously the actual people who work for these places, a lot of times they'll get books.
Yeah.
At work because they have to read them or review them or, whatever. And then they might read them once and then they sell them back. They sell them to these stores.
Yeah. Well, that's like,
so you get shit that's in decent condition.
Yeah. Usually the stuff, it's like gently used, but I'm perfectly fine with it. Mm-hmm. I even sold them. They didn't give me anything for it, but I even gave it. I just said we had that coloring book.
Which coloring?
It was a Marvel kids coloring book before we got the cool coloring books.
Oh,
but I bought a Marvel coloring book from a fucking Michael's.
Oh,
a long time ago. Because I was just I want to do some coloring.
Oh, were you just here, take it?
But I was I think I colored one thing in there, and I was like, you could take this.
Well, they could even because they've got a little kids section too.
Yeah.
So
I would just give it to kid. I don't care.
Well, that's what I mean. They've got kids who come in there. They could rip all those things out and be like, here, sit at this table and color. Have fun.
Yeah. Or here, just take this thing. Look at this. Because it's a big book. There's probably maybe color one Iron Man.
Yeah.
But I got my Marvel ones, which I need to get back into doing that.
The adult coloring.
The adult coloring, which there's some really cool ones. They have a new one that's a JLA one that I liked that I might have to.
I've got the Wonder Woman one. I have the Batman Hush Volume 1.
Yeah.
Volume 2 was supposed to come out. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And every time I look it up, I can't find it. But I was like, oh shit, it's literally Hush just in black and white. And you just color the whole thing.
Yeah,
they've got Supergirl, Harley Quinn, they've got
Green
Mad
Arrow,
Love.
they got the Flash.
They've got the Flash. They've got
Wonder Woman. You have the Wonder Woman one too.
I do have the Wonder Woman, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's just, you sit there and you just color. And sometimes with the Wonder Woman one, it's just a bunch of different poses. But then there'll also be covers.
Well, that's the one that's what I want. That's what I want them to do.
Is just release covers.
I just want covers of just comic book covers. I just want you to do. I want Marvel to do it because they have one where I got a Doctor Strange one, and the Doctor Strange one has a lot of poses and stuff like that. But it has a lot of some has some Defenders covers in there, and it's fuck yeah, just give me 150 pages of Defenders covers, and I'll color them all. I would be elated, and I color them how they're supposed to be.
You do. You actually look them up.
I don't because I want to look. I want to be proud. I don't want to make Doctor Strange purple.
Why not?
Because he's not.
You're a purist.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm a purist. I like doing that. But then you use the same colors all the time, and my sticks get small.
You mean your pencils?
Pencils. My color sticks.
Color sticks, yes.
Okay. Well, let's take our break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk about our book for the week.
You like cheap comic books, right? Well, I'm Professor Allen, and I talk about cheap comic books on the Quarter Bin Podcast. In every episode, I'll dissect a single comic from my collection, as long as I paid no more than 25 cents for the issue. Forget about $4 new comics that you can read in 4 minutes, or crossover events that can cost $100 to collect. Join me in the Quarter Bin, where even bad comics are a bargain, and good ones are a steal. The Quarter Bin Podcast is part of the Relatively Geeky Podcast Network. Visit us at relativelygeekypodcast.blogspot.com or search Relatively Geeky or Quarter Bin Podcast in iTunes. I guarantee it'll be worth every penny.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Santa the Barbarian from... I don't even know what month this is from.
It's actually from December.
Oh, it is!
This is the only Christmas one we've done that's from December. I'm so proud.
Oh, damn. Oh, they got one thing right.
Yeah.
Santa the Barbarian, #1 from December 1996. And if you've never heard of Santa the Barbarian...
There's a reason.
There's a reason. It's basically...
It's garbage.
Well, it's a garbage one-shot from Maximum Press, which from... I think this was kind of like a... And look, you can correct me if you want, but I believe it's like an offshoot or some sort of, it's connected somehow to, I think, Top Cow or Image.
Sure.
And it's like, it's got like, it's just like a random imprint that like places people like, Rob Liefeld.
Well, it says so on the cover, let's just talk about the cover real quick.
Okay.
So on the cover, we have a hulking Santa, but he is not the Santa you know. He is a bald gentleman, and he is buff as fuck.
Yeah.
He is old. He has 2 swords on his back. Think Deadpool. He's holding a double-bladed axe.
He's like a white-haired Braun Strowman.
Yeah, his sleeves have been ripped off.
Or Goldberg.
He's got, the stuff around his wrists. I'm assuming he's got blades in there.
Yeah.
He's got a big red nose. He looks like he wants to kill everyone. He is a massive muscle, and he is walking through the snow.
Yep, and that's it.
That's it. He's just glaring at you.
That's it. That's all you get.
Yep, that's it. And then you open this book, and it says, not on the splash page, but on the left-hand side, so on the back of the cover, it says, Rob Liefeld presents Santa the Barbarian. And this is when we should have known to put this thing back. But I don't think we looked that far.
See how many times we see feet.
Oh, it's really nice because he's usually in the snow.
Well, exactly. He's not the artist. There's 2 stories in this book, and one's done by Dan Fraga, and the other one by Pop Mahan.
See, he published it. Is he under the tree?
Yeah, he's a publisher.
Yeah.
He's a publisher, and I'm assuming, I don't know who Sherry Liefeld is. I'm assuming that's his wife.
Sure.
Or maybe not his wife, or maybe his mom. Maybe it's his mom. Maybe it's his sister.
It's his mom. Let's just go with his mom.
It's Mom Liefeld. Yeah, and it's just a nice, slick little deal you get.
Yeah.
And
So this was December 1999, 96, 99.
96.
So we start with our splash page here. Cabin, North Pole, Santa walking up to the thing. There's call-out boxes, but I don't know why they did this because they have all this space.
A lot of space.
And they're just tiny little call-out boxes, and I swear to God, the font's about 6 point. And it's written in like script.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard to read.
You need a microscope to read this.
Yeah, it's so tiny. And I'm like, why? You guys have tons of room. Like, you have a whole page.
They were committed to doing it like this. Whoever is Steve Dutro.
And they were like, hey, the moon needs to be gigantic, but make the text really small.
I think I read this North Pole here.
North Pole I can read.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't know why this whole first story is tiny, tiny, tiny text.
Well, just narration
Call-out
boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Narration boxes.
So actually the story is called Big Red Sleigh, and sleigh is SLAY. And basically Santa walks in to the North Pole, and
he wants his list.
He's juiced, and he's like, he's repeating basically Well, he's yelling at the elves.
Yeah, he's like, he knows when you've been sleeping. He knows when you're awake. So he's basically yelling that at the elves.
Because they're like, don't tell me you're overworked. Give me my list. God damn it. And he's like, bah, gome. And he's like, they gave him a 3x5 card and that's the nice list.
That's it.
And they're like, well, where's the naughty list? And it's this gigantic spool of like what appears to be golden paper.
Yeah. So apparently then the elf is like drowning in it. He's like, I've checked it. Everybody's naughty. And that's when Santa's like, well, time for me to fix this.
Yeah, let's get something more radical then, won't we? Time to unwrap the gifts.
Yeah, and can we talk about Santa's nose?
Yeah, it's always red.
I know, but like to the point where it doesn't even look like it's attached to his face.
Yeah, it looks like it's separate, like he's...
It looks like it's like part... It kind of looks like it's a mask that goes with the beard. Like it's just real fucked up.
It might be, yeah.
Because it's bright red, but there's such a dark line from where his actual skin is. It's just weird.
Yeah.
So Santa's like, well, if ever this is the Futurama. Where we have
this is before Futurama, so
this is before Futurama, so who knows? But this is the idea behind those Futuramas was Santa was a robot, and he was programmed to determine who is naughty and nice, and he determines that everyone is naughty. So now, instead of Christmas, which they now call Xmas in the Futurama universe, only Xmas, you have to like put up your Santa shields because he comes down and he murders everybody he can find because everyone is naughty. And that's literally basically what's happening in this book.
Yep. Well, he kind of breaks, I guess, because he's like, everybody's naughty.
Fuck it.
So time to like lose my shit. And the elves though are kind of like excited for this. So he's kind of like, they should have watched out. They should have not cried. They shouldn't have. I warned them not to pout.
And so Santa's getting his battle axe, his sword. What does his belt say?
Naughty basher.
He's putting a belt on and he just fucking loads up with weapons like he's a fucking Viking gonna go raid a village.
Yeah, he's got an axe. He's like, now Santa Claus is gonna go to town on their sorry butts, and me and my sacred battle axe, Saint Nick.
Yeah, and they're like, "You the man, Santa."
They literally say, "You demand," like we're
because remember it's 1996.
It's the 90s. This is when we're going. You demand. No, you demand.
Yeah.
That's how you greeted everybody.
That's right. It was the 90s.
Man, fuck the 90s.
Pretty much.
Anyways.
So he goes out to find his reindeer, and it's only Rudolph because apparently they all got into bad chili. Jokes, people.
Why didn't we show that? The reindeer's fucking shit.
Well, they have a fart joke right there.
Oh, because he goes poot.
Yeah, he means, steer, and Santa's like, huh. But for some reason, so they're in the sleigh, and Santa's sleigh says, ho, ho, man.
Which makes me want some ho-hos.
Okay.
Wait, who's this person here?
I think that's supposed to be Santa trying to breathe because...
No, Santa's up here.
Is that an elf?
Did he, like, sit on an elf?
Maybe. I thought that was Santa trying to breathe from Rudolph's flaming butt.
Oh, maybe.
And his chilly mishaps.
Yeah, so Rudolph is breathing fire out of his nose. And he also talks like he's like sentient. He's just like, yeah, what's up, Santa?
He's like, yeah, we ate shitty chili, dude.
We ate shitty chili. And he goes, same itinerary. And somebody misspelled itinerary.
Yes. It also...
Rob Liefeld, get a fucking dictionary.
So this is where this gets weirder because the call-out, the narration boxes now turn into the person... instead of just being like, and Santa did this, Santa did that, now it says, I was happy in my bed. Now it's a first person. It's hard to tell, but it does switch to first person. So whoever's telling us this is one of the people Santa is coming for.
Yeah, well, you could have wrote in bigger font.
Well,
I can't fucking read it.
Here, I'll just hold this to my nose. And then it says, 'twas the night before Christmas, and it was Santa's intention to kill every last soul, even those on a pension. He started with my house.
Oh, what bullshit.
Yeah.
Pension people.
Yeah. Even those on a pension.
No.
He started with my house. This is where it switches, which was really bad luck because Santa can hit you like a freaking Mack truck.
This guy's name was Gamora, I think it is.
Sure.
It says, I don't know what. Is this a
I feel
shot
like
at
I should read this whole poem out loud because it's really terrifying. It's actually bad.
So he smashes through this door.
He kicks the guy's door down. And the guy's like, oh no, Santa's coming for me. And this dude's running down the hallway and he's like, I'm running down, like everything rhymes in these tiny narration boxes.
Here, I'll read it. When he swore to impale me with his knives to the wall, I dashed away down the hall. His eyes, how they twinkled. His fingers were hairy.
Gross.
And the better to send me to the cemetery.
And while he's saying this, by the way, Santa throws a dagger down the hallway and gets this guy in the back.
Gets this guy in the back, and the guy turns around, and then Santa snaps on top of him and shoves a piece of coal in his mouth and then lights it on fire, I think.
Is that how coal works?
I guess. I mean, it's kind of like charcoal. Maybe he's going to make a burger on his mouth.
I'm not familiar with charcoal. I have usually used gas grills, so I don't actually know. Don't you need lighter fluid in order to do all this stuff?
Maybe he had it. We didn't see it.
I don't know. So
maybe that was this guy's gives like, I got you lighter fluid.
Yeah, so he shoves a piece of coal in this dude's mouth and lights it on fire, and then he runs away. And then he goes to find another guy.
Oh, yeah, let me read this. He came at me then with a lump of coal, stuffed it in my mouth, and yelled, "Fire in the hole," which I'm assuming it's like a napalm coal or whatever.
Napalm coal.
He was savage and fierce, tight.
How is this guy still telling me the story?
A right bloody old elf with an absolute gift for enjoying himself.
Yeah, so somehow the guy who just died is continuing to tell us this story.
Well, no, we don't know if this is the same guy.
Yes, because it says he came to my house. I ran down the hall, and he shoved coal in his mouth and yelled fire in the hole. So then Santa goes to find some redheaded guy with like a crazy mustache, and he literally chops him in the head. Like he hits him right here in the head with the battle axe, and that guy's dead. But apparently
it's Simon Gotch.
Santa's really happy about it. And then he stands on a pile of bodies and then, with one guy who's literally impaled through the stomach with a humongous sword, like the sword from Berserk, if you've ever seen that anime.
It's like a sword like out of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And he says, he's like, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a big knife, hearty heart." And
somehow that guy's still alive.
Some guy that's still alive is like, just what I wanted. It looks like he just murdered a bunch of random dudes.
There's a whole pile of bodies. And maybe Hitler.
Maybe Hitler. I think that's definitely Hitler. Martin Van Buren, Road Warrior Animal, I think. I think there's a monk in there.
Yeah.
This is Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
He murdered Jason Momoa.
Yeah, and he's like all these people, it's like a pile of bodies and there's boxes in the background. You're like, where'd the boxes come from?
Oh, that's a good question.
But notice.
Oh, maybe he went to like a warehouse and just murdered a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, including
Hitler.
He
went to the Hitler warehouse.
Oh, he's like, oh, good. I'll just get this surplus Hitler and just stab him.
So I'm going to start murdering these surplus Hitlers before anybody else sees them.
Well, I mean, if you had surplus Hitlers, you probably would want to take them out.
Well, that's like that Mr. Show sketch where they cloned a bunch of Hitlers to be indebted slaves to, or I guess I would say slaves, but indebted servants to a bunch of Holocaust survivors and their families.
Okay.
And so basically they would just have like a bunch of like dudes just with like Hitler, haircuts and stuff, but they were just dressed in like other clothes, and
they all have German accents?
No, they didn't really talk. They all kind of sounded regular, and they would sometimes go to like when they would have a chance, they would go to a bar.
Or was he Austrian?
I don't know. I'm not up on my Hitler.
You know what? I don't want to look that up. I don't care.
Don't look it up.
I don't want that on my phone.
Don't Bill's like, Jen, you heard you looked up Hitler. I'm like, I'm
gonna get some real weird emails.
You get some like, hey Jen, do you want to do that? No, I don't.
No, I don't. Hello, Jen. Would you like to join the alt-right? No, thank you.
No,
thank you. No,
I'm good.
I'm good.
Good, guys.
No, yeah. So I don't want that on my phone. So that's the end of story number 1.
That's how that ends.
Part 1. End.
We can talk about some of these ads later, but
we're going to talk about this because there is the reason we're doing this is because I want to ask a certain question.
Oh, great!
But we'll ask it when we're done.
I'll have no answers.
Oh no, no one has an answer.
So part 2 is the night before Christmas or Xmas, and it just it basically
artist Pop Mahan.
Yeah, so Pop Mahan, who drew the first one, decided to draw and write the second one.
Well,
but it
I'm
looks a little
really,
bit
really
different.
glad that he decided to use larger narration boxes because I can actually read these.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Thank you. So now we're in a cabin.
We're in a cabin. Some kids are sleeping. I'm not going to read all these here, but
No, so Santa is just barbarian his way through the snow. He's got like knee pads on now. His hands are
gigantic.
huge. We're talking like the size of like VW bugs.
He's kind of like he's a different warrior Santa
He's
here.
got a tattoo.
He's got Santa. Yeah, his tattoo says Xmas rules. But he's got some sweet ass knee pads. He's got like a skull belt buckle. It looks like he should be in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah. I kind of like the Santa better.
The center is better. He also has weird glowing eyes, which I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, maybe it's John.
Oh, maybe it is John. He's shapeshifted.
Nice.
So he goes to the North Pole, I guess.
Or he's trudging back, I'm assuming, back home to the North Pole.
And the elves are there.
Elves are there.
And they're like, hey, Santa, you're treating us like slave labor, because that's what he does. And we're not going to take it anymore. So we've taken to the streets. We found a cannon.
Yeah, they did find a cannon.
We are going to fight you.
We're going to fight Santa.
And Santa's like, bring it on, fucking elves.
Santa's on fuck off elves.
And they're like, he starts, punching elves.
Well, apparently Santa doesn't live at the North Pole in this one. He just trudges his way through snow to get his toys. And he's like, where the fuck are my toys?
Maybe he's like, hey, he steals from these people. So maybe he is like a Viking coming to sack a village.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not going to take it anymore, Santa. And he's like, I'm bigger than you. And they're like, well, don't worry. We built tank.
Yeah, we built a tank.
So it's a robot.
A robot tank. Looks like the Iron Giant.
Yep.
And they're like, all right, well, now this is you're going to fight this robot. And you just get like this ridiculous slash page of gigantic fisted Santa fighting a robot with a huge underbite.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that's kind of cool.
Actually, that's kind of a cool picture.
I kind of like this.
That's a good picture. So they fight.
There's a lot of like schmutz around here too, and it's the way that it's kind of like just a lot of random black spots and stuff here.
It just makes it look darker.
Yeah.
Hashtag dark.
90s.
And then doesn't it say something like that's not really Santa because there's like an elf standing by a tree.
It was the night before Christmas. I'm sure that it was. Everybody was stumped because that ain't no Santa Claus. I'm assuming these are kids just looking at this young
elves
or looking at an elf.
Oh yeah, this is so apparently Santa has won.
Yeah, because these kids. I think these kids are doing the.
I have a very important question about this last page. So Santa has won, and he blew up the village or lit it on fire. Or there's a lot of like smoking ruins. I'm not sure how this happened. And then he's just sitting in this huge chair, and in front of him is this elf we've never seen before, and she's a very sexy babe. And she's like showing her ass. She's like, "Hey Santa,
well, she's just sitting.
You want to jingle my bells? You're so hot. How about you put your candy cane into my elfin asshole?" Like that's basically what's happening. Are you okay?
Elfin asshole.
Like I don't know where did she even come from?
She wasn't in anything else.
How does her back bend
That's my biggest concern. I'm
that
worried.
Poor woman.
It looks like Santa broke her back.
He did. He put his fucking fist
because she has
there.
zero waist.
Yeah, she is just nothing but ass.
Nothing but ass and torso.
And and just like tits. And she's just, what is she even doing? She looks like she's trying to kiss his hand.
Ooh, his dirty, filthy. Because he's got like all this dirt all over him because he murdered the village and I guess all the schmutz.
She is presenting. She wants it. She's like, put your gross candy cane, your old candy cane into my butt.
Oh no.
That's what's happening in this picture.
This is the end of the Grand Christmas Tale. Merry Christmas to all. Please don't send me hate mail. Because the person that wrote this, like the other prose,
they're like, I don't want to rhyme anymore, and so they'd say, "Don't send me letters," and then there's
don't send me hate. Yeah, don't send me hate letters, and there's a little arrow that says, "Whoops, mail."
Because mail would rhyme, and you're like, eh. So
that's it.
But here is the beauty of this book. So that's it, and you'd be like, "Wow, Jen, that's awesome."
That's great. What other stories do you have for us for Santa the Barbarian? I got shit.
Well, hold on, because you don't realize that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages of ads after the end of that story.
Yeah, ads for Marvel, or not Marvel, but for some, Maximum.
There's Captain America on the back.
Well, there's like crossovers apparently that happened that I don't know. Maybe we should read those.
Well, So this is my question.
Yes.
Why? Why would you even create this? If,
I don't know.
I mean, for that much advertising? Or are we padding it? Did you not have enough? Did a story fall through?
I think this was just totally intended just to do a bunch of shitball stories, throw these in here, and then just do a bunch of ads and just be like, hey, here's a bunch of cool shit. Because it's Christmas and people maybe aren't. Yeah, maybe it's just, I mean, they're not going to do another Santa the Barbarian.
No.
You know, so they knew exactly what this was going to be.
Or maybe they thought they could do a Santa the Barbarian, an additional one.
Well, it's a test. Maybe it's a test thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm not reading it.
No, I'm never going to read this.
I'm not reading this in 96.
It was garbage. My question is just like, why? Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Like, if you're going to publish something under this imprint, like...
Yeah, Rob Liefeld's is finally like, whatever.
Be better.
You could have some fun, but apparently, you know.
In fucking Fullerton.
I will say, Rob
California.
Liefeld, so apparently, okay. Yeah, in Fullerton. Yeah, we're out here. We can go to Fullerton. We can find this place.
Yep.
Ooh, right to Santa the Barbarian. I'm going to go.
Yeah, you could also email him at AOL.com.
Or you can email him. It's
CompuServe!
XTRM3882 at AOL.com.
Or there's a bunch of numbers at CompuServe.
Yeah, I like the CompuServe address is 75664, 7 or 207.
Yeah.
At CompuServe. I'm like, that's not a real thing, is it?
I don't know.
Is that how CompuServe email address was?
You know what? I don't know. I know nothing of CompuServe.
That was I remember that was a server, I think, right? I think that was like if you had like back in the day when you had.
All I know is it doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, maybe it doesn't, but it was like when you had, like, for instance, like when my first internet provider was something called BuffNet, which was like Buffalo internet service with that. And so that was before you got, like, you know, Verizon and all that stuff. And some people have that, like, where you have, like, you know, a Verizon address or whatever. And I think that's kind of like what this is. But why would you have a comma in an email address? That's so weird.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
No.
But apparently Santa Barbarian he made his first appearance in a trading card in a Wizard magazine, which Rob Liefeld drew. And he also drew a foot. Do you see that?
He drew 1 foot.
He drew 1 foot.
Then he drew a sexy babe in front of the other foot.
We also drew her foot. 1 foot.
Yep.
He drew 2 feet.
It's probably better when they're not, like, standing.
Well, this one's standing.
Well, yeah, but he's got a boot on.
It's a very big boot.
Yeah.
It's the biggest boot.
Well, yeah.
It's not even. It might as well not even be a foot. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of just like a trunk.
It is. It's just like a stump.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made his first appearance in a chromium trading card because hot damn, chromium. It's the 90s. It was an early issue of Wizard. I used to read Wizard a lot. Wizard's cool. I like Wizard. I miss Wizard. I have some old Wizard books. Maybe we should pull those out and look through those.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, then we get some. I'll just go through some of these real quick. We have Maximum Press Coming Attractions, just a bunch of
Garbage.
We have that book, Glory. Remember Glory?
Oh, did I buy that?
We bought it, but we gave it away.
Yeah, we got rid of that.
We got rid of it because it was like basically like a white-haired Wonder Woman.
It was a Wonder Woman
patriotic
ripoff,
John
and
Cena
it was
woman.
Not good. Hey, honey, it's okay. We just bought a vaporizer because it's drier than the Sahara in California right now.
Yeah.
And so we've got this stupid humidifier, and the cats are scared of it.
It's not stupid.
No, it's not. It's actually very fun, and it changes color. But cats are scared of it because they're weird.
So yeah, we have we have some upcoming stuff here. I like this is just the most extreme. It's just such 90s shit.
Oh yeah.
Like here we go. Cybrid #1, trained by the clan of the Quiet Palace to be a master assassin, created by a corporate entity known as the Cynosure.
What?
Cynosure. To become a biomorphic entity in their service, the Cybrid is a fugitive from everything he has known. And I'm assuming Cybrid here just looks like he's standing on a bunch of skeletons.
Of course
and
he
he's
is.
just
Because
lots of
it's
sticky outy.
Fucking 90s.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
Shaft #1. Supreme 44. Oh boy. That's like Alan Moore apparently wrote some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Jump on the book that everyone is talking about.
Can we? No, let's not.
Yeah. Let me get some ads here. We got The New Men. Adventures of the New Men. I'm bored by that. Shaft, which was basically Rob Liefeld's, the most popular member of Youngblood. Because that was Youngblood. Youngblood was Rob Liefeld's, like, Extreme Avengers thing. Look at those boots.
I'm more interested in the Shaft toy from Extreme Toys.
Yeah, coming
that's on
soon.
the next page there. that has a built-in bullet belt around his thigh.
Well, that's where the bullets go.
I know. It says coming soon. Do you think they ever made it?
Oh yeah. You can probably find this.
Find that garbage.
You can find this in a bin somewhere.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Maybe we should look for it.
I also do like Prophet
and
Cable, which I normally wouldn't care so much, but I'm looking at Cable here. Cable is wearing his space outfit. There was a Marvel there was a X-Force toy that came out. I think this was Cable 2, and he wore this brown, or it was basically this orange, brown, and blue space outfit. And that's what this is. He's actually wearing it. And I'm like, when the hell did this guy ever wear this? Because like, I didn't read Cable and X-Force on a regular, but like, you can't tell me he had this many outfits. I mean, he's like
Barbie that way.
He was like Barbie. Cable was pretty much Barbie. He had an
outfit for every occasion.
He's got a new bullet belt. I mean,
ooh, Cable with new hat.
He might as well have had a new hat.
That'd be cool.
Cable with new guns. Literally, because
Cable with new guns.
Here's the thing about the Cable toys. Like, they would sell the Cable toys and be like, "Look, Cable's got a sweet gun and it moves."
Ooh, new gun.
You couldn't get like the first Cable toy. Cable was the first. The original Cable Toy Biz figure was the first Marvel Toy Biz toy that I purchased.
Oh, okay.
And that toy came with a gun that the barrel spinned.
Ooh.
But he also came with a karate chop.
Very exciting.
But subsequent Cables did not have karate chops. They just had
karate chopping action?
He did not do any kung fu.
Well, that's just
He just had
bullshit.
A gun that moved.
That's bullshit.
So yeah, but there's Cable wearing that. And then what else we got here? There's Cabot Blood Hunter.
Ugh.
Drawn by Rick Vedich, which looks just like the Cybrid, but I don't know.
That is just, to me, from here, that's just a mess.
That is just barf.
That's literally just a gray lump of just lines. It's
Is this a Justice League movie?
Yeah, that's basically what Cyborg looks like in the Justice League.
It is.
It's just a mess.
Oh man, this Cyborg. I just take pictures and be like, man, this Cyborg reboot is sucks ass.
Can we also talk about the next page where Hulk has awesome like 90s anime hair?
He does actually.
Where it's like parted down the middle and perfectly straight. And when did Hulk have hair?
This is 96, so this is when this is like around Heroes Reborn-ish. So apparently it was Hulk versus the Avengers, and Jeff Loeb and Rob Liefeld drew something, and you see you see Thor's hammer, Captain America's part of Captain America's shield, you see an arrow, and then a sword. I don't know whose sword that is. I'm assuming swordsman. I don't know. They're all ready to cut up the Hulk, who's got sweet anime hair, and he's the Hulk. So that's that one. Maybe I've never seen that in any boxes or anything. And then I think this is it. No, we got one more, I think. But then you have what else is this? Evangeline Armageddon, which I can't even tell what the fuck is going on in here.
Yeah, I just see like a chick who's
just
like naked, but then there's fire.
This babe is wearing like.
Does she have wings, or does something behind her have wings?
I think she has wings, wingy, and she's cutting on there's some demons they're fighting, and they got green blood. Yeah, that looks like a mess.
Yeah,
I can't handle that. And then you have a Prophet toy. So Prophet was the hotness for a while. Stephen Platt, I think, drew that, and that made it was a big deal for him because he had that Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane style that everybody loved, and this was one of his dudes, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that I like his hat because it's gigantic.
Yeah,
and I don't know what purposes it serves, but he has a gigantic hat. And then Alan Moore's Supreme, chronicling the monthly adventures of the most powerful man in the universe. Isn't that Superman?
It should be.
And it looks like he just...
That's another one of those just blocky muscle men.
It looks like he ripped apart like an alien dog.
Can we just talk about how everything is perfectly detailed except for his crotch?
He has no dick.
He has nothing. It's just perfectly blank. There's not even just there's nothing. There's no bump. He has no groin. He has no groin. It's just flat.
Actually, I would like if the Supreme was the book. The subtitle for the book was just The Man with No Groin.
I'm so powerful, except for my groin.
It's just a lot of
my groin is my Achilles heel.
Well, I just would like it if people just threw footballs at his groin. He was like, "Ha ha! You can't hit me there."
For I have no groin.
I have no groin. You can't shoot me at my groin. Fuck you.
It is just a depression.
Yeah, and then
it's just like if you're walking along and you would come to a ditch. That's what my groin is.
Can we get a
It's negative space.
Ooh, is it antimatter? Is the
Yes.
antimatter universe in Supreme's groin?
Or the Anti-Monitor lives in Supreme's groin.
Oh man, that would be a great DC reboot.
He's like, hello! And everybody's like, whoa.
He's like, what happened to the antimatter? He's like, I'm in this groin. Ah! Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Crisis on Infinite Groins. Infinite Groins.
Infinite groins? How does that even work? It's just like groins just like put together like tiles, or like what are we even talking about?
It's just that's a new multiverse. It's just a bunch of crotches.
Or is it going to be like when they flip over the map? Like they did it in
in Metal?
They're just like groins.
It's just groins. And it's like, look, that's the groin
They're
from
like-
Earth X.
Like this is where the evil comes from. They're like, oh, okay.
That looks like
Don't slut shame.
it's like, let's see. What if we have Batman's just like, I know those groins. Okay, that's
Those are all my bat groins.
that's my groin.
This is my groin, but that's
So
this
the universe is one,
This
two.
is groin the drowned.
This is groin the awesome, groin the tormentor. So groins 1, 3, 7 through 10, and 45 are my groins. So I also see
I've cloned my groins.
that's
People,
Dick Grayson's groin. I know that groin.
some people clone Hitler. I clone groins.
And then the little blurb is like, it's groin grabbingly good.
Homer Simpson's just smiling at the very bottom.
Groin grabbingly. Oh man, I'm so proud of myself. This is our finest moment.
It really is.
So that's it for Santa the Barbarian #1 from December 1996. Would you ever read?
No. I don't even think there is a next issue of this. There can't be.
Would you want to seek out his first appearance on a chromium card?
You know, if I found a card of Santa the Barbarian, I'd be very excited. I wouldn't buy it, but I would look at it and be like, oh man, here it is. And that would be the end of it.
If it was 10 cents, I might buy it.
If it's 10 cents, sure.
Yeah, I'm not bothering. This is going in the garbage.
Yeah.
I have to find a creative way to get rid of this.
Yeah.
I really do, because I kind of want somebody to find it by mistake and be like,
wrap a present with it.
Ooh, oh man! See, if my class, if we were doing, man, if my work was doing like a secret elephant or elephant surprise,
yeah, that'd be
white
fun.
elephant. What are they called?
White elephants, yeah.
White elephant, secret elephant.
A secret elephant.
I would just wrap. You know what? I would have just wrapped a bunch of shit comics,
Yeah.
including this, and on the top, and people would just be like, "Oh fuck."
They'd be like, thanks a lot, Sean. Nobody
Thanks a lot. Who gave me the Santa the Barbarian?
No one.
Where's this guy's groin?
No one. No one would be happy.
No,
That's the worst gift.
it's the worst gift. I would be fired.
Yeah.
Sean, you've ruined our holiday
Yeah,
Christmas.
Sean, you ruined the white elephant.
Well, I probably would have is I probably end
Like,
up
but
like
that guy doesn't have a groin.
probably like a higher up, like if I was still at Sideshow, we used to go there. Probably one of the higher up managers would have gotten it, and would be like,
you would have ruined everybody's
like,
day.
oh, my son was killed by Santa. I don't know.
My son also died when Santa threw a dagger into his back.
He was an extra in Silent Night, Deadly Night. He died on film, and his career never recovered. How dare you give this to me? Also, where's this guy's groin? Well, I guess that's it for this episode.
Yeah.
We will be coming back after Christmas.
Yes.
We have, I don't know if we'll probably just do a regular book. I feel like we'll just do a regular
Yeah,
book.
well, yeah.
We'll get back to it because we've exhausted. You can't really go much further. We found some more Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Because we were doing a thing. We found a Legends of the Dark Knight. I do have a handful of DC
We should
Christmas
do that.
specials and Marvel Christmas specials.
That's true. We could save that Legends of the Dark Knight for next year. Or maybe
We also
can
have
do
that
it.
Adventures of Superman where it's just a sad woman and a sitting
where she's homeless.
a homeless sad woman, which I'm like, what is this about? Which, did you ever read that one?
Yes.
What happens?
So she works at the Daily Planet and she can't afford rent, so she like sleeps in the storeroom.
Is she in there when Superman changes real quick and he's like, oops, I didn't see you there?
No, it's nothing like that. It's just it's stupid. It's one of those like, oh, this is what Christmas is really about.
What, sleeping in the storeroom?
No,
That sounds
about
sad.
like helping people less fortunate.
Oh, it's kind of like that Captain Atom comic where the homeless man gets burned alive.
No, it's exactly like that. Because you know what happens is they're just like, oh no, poor people, and they like just drag her out and they let her on fire. That's how
I shouldn't be laughing.
No.
But I almost feel like that's the thing that DC would do and be like, guys, this is a good book. Pay
Yeah.
attention. We're saying something here. I'm like, fuck off. Well, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Have a great holiday. Hope you guys get a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah.
If you're celebrating Hanukkah when you listen to this, hope you guys are getting cool shit.
Yeah.
You know, and or just enjoying
happy holidays.
Yes. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the time.
Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Solstice. I don't know.
Festivus.
Festivus.
If you celebrate a fictional holiday from Seinfeld, by all means.
Yeah. I think Ramadan's coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe. So all the holidays. Happy New Year, etc.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back for the New Year.
Yes,
so
we will.
We'll have some more to talk about. So, well, thanks for listening, folks. Have a great holiday, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.